Hey folks, welcome back to the VVU, episode number four in a row. We're going to keep going with this streak here. Lots to talk about today. As usual, joined with my standard band of colleagues here, Jeremy Merrill, Philip Armstrong, and Joe Maurer. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good afternoon.
Thanks for being here today. So we're going to talk about a couple things. As usual, we're going to talk about first and foremost Dell Tech World, right? It's now in our rearview mirror. As we talked about last episode, Jeremy, you got an opportunity to go to Dell Tech World, so we'll circle up to you and you can kind of give us your view as to how it went, who you spoke to, any shout out, standing body, anything like that. Of course, there's new VxRail software. So we're going to talk about VxRail software 70371, talk about VCF 441, excuse me, on that new software. We have new hardware releases. We have new GPUs that we can talk about. And then, of course, anything else that comes to mind. Maybe we'll touch a little bit about Cloud IQ. I know we talk about it in the last episode, but maybe we'll bring it up again to just kind of recircle with that whole conversation. So without further ado, let's kick it off. Jeremy, I'll kick it to you, and then I'll interject and we'll move around from there. Let's start out with DTW and your take on how everything went for the first time back in, what is that, 3 years? 2 years? 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, amazingly enough. It was good. We had a session titled around VxRail, kind of 6 years to now, and kind of what we're looking at in the future, where we covered the history of VxRail, the 6+ years that it's been out now since February of 2016, all the different hardware and software advancements we brought into the product. Delivered that 3 times with some of the different folks from our tech marketing and marketing teams. And it was very well attended each of the 3 times, which is great. It was great to see some of the VxRail customers out there that we've worked with over the last 6 years, came up and asked questions. I mean, it was just phenomenal to see everybody in person again, or at least for the folks that were in attendance, connecting with newer customers that we've interacted with over the last 3 years, only over Zoom sessions. All in all, had a fantastic time, many different events. Obviously, one of our big partners in everything is Topgolf. So we had a couple events out at Topgolf for customers, some with our partners. They had the VxRail logo way out on the net that everybody tries to hit with the driver. So it was good to see that the VxRail logo out there.
Did you hit
I didn't take many swings out there. I actually, when we get up to those higher bays, it kind of messes with my frame of reference and kind of my equilibrium. But it was fun. It was great to see everybody. I think I had just shy of like 20 different customer meetings as well between customers and partners, and always great to see folks there in person. And hopefully do it again next year. Maybe we can all meet up with some of those folks at VMware Explore coming up later this year.
Awesome. So you mentioned the attendance? Was it pretty packed attendance for the first time back?
It was. There were definitely a lot of people there, more than I had probably anticipated, which was great. A lot of the breakout sessions looked pretty well attended. The Converge users group was well attended. So all in all, hallways were full, lots of side conversations, again, running into people that haven't seen in 3 years. That's always good. And always great to hang out with some of the members of our esteemed VxRail product management team, delivering roadmap presentations with them and just getting overall feedback from everybody.
Awesome. So it sounds like it was pretty solidly attended. Maybe not what it was pre-COVID, but still for the first time back.
Yes.
A good showing.
It was a great showing. Overall, it was a great conference. The show floor was fun. A lot of great announcements out there with some of our software-defined storage technologies beyond just the VxRail side of things, and some of our storage-based technologies as well. So highly recommend for anybody watching, reach out to your account teams and get that Dell Tech World update.
Get those updates,
a lot of good information to be had from there.
Awesome. Speaking of updates, let's keep going. Next point topic is going to be the VxRail software.
Actually, I'll do one quick interlude just because it came. I know these are a little bit ad hoc here, but we've got members of our team doing VMUG updates as well in person again. So it's one of those things. A quick plug just to remind folks that if you've got a VMUG in your area, very likely to potentially be able to see some of us in person again at an in-person VMUG event. I know I've got one coming up towards the end of June in Boston. So if anyone happens to be watching this and sees that they're interested, try to go to the one in Boston if you're in the area. So, and
awesome.
I think
Jeremy, you did one. Philip, have you done one yet?
Not this year, yeah. No.
Okay.
Like going to Dallas? I don't know if they're going to Dallas.
I haven't seen, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
let's go find out
later this year. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's keep going with the next topic, VxRail software updates. Who wants that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could jump in because we have, a lot of updates to talk about. First, VxRail, we may have talked about it a little bit last time, the release of our synchronous release for vSphere 7 update 3D, which is our VxRail 7.0.371. So that's something that's available for customers to upgrade to. We've also paired that with our VCF 4.41 release, which is available for customers. So that's a release that will allow customers running VCF to get to the latest version of vSphere. It also includes a patch for NSX, taking you from 3.1.35 to 3.1.37. So that's got an NSX security fix in there. And so we have updates to vSphere, updates to NSX. We also have, this was kind of in VCF 4.4, but, of course, in 4.4.1, we can also do this, but we've made it flexible when it comes to the vRealize suite. A lot of times customers are wanting to patch their vRealize components, talking about vRealize automation, vRealize operations, log insight, those things. And instead of having those a part of the bill of materials managed through SDDC Manager, now you'll be able to manage that through VRS LCM directly. So that's a nice update, giving you more flexibility when it comes to updating the overall system. And then another cool release, not really related to a release, but more around the flexibility, is something that we've come out with around it's called the async tool. So sometimes these patches for vCenter or NSX, for instance, that since we were just talking about it, they come up before there's a full release for VCF on VxRail, and the async tool gives us a way to patch immediately to those components. So it's something that's available for VCF on VxRail customers as well. So definitely a lot of good updates. I'm sure I'm skipping over several.
I want to touch on one thing you said, just to make sure we're clear here, right? So you said vSphere update D as in David.
3D,
right?
yes.
3D as in
yes.
David. And then the second thing you mentioned was the option to patch the vRealize software suite outside of SDDC Manager. So does that mean that you can deploy it with SDDC Manager and then patch it separately, or what does that?
That's
really
right. Mean? So from SDDC Manager, you have the ability to deploy the vRealize Suite Lifecycle Manager, and from there you can lifecycle the vRealize components. Before, the bill of materials called for specific versions, but there may be a reason to be on a different version. Maybe there's a patch for vRealize operations or log insight, for instance. Now you can just do that directly through VRS LCM, not have to wait for a VCF release.
So they can be done independently. So your versions of vRealize can be on a different, higher. There is no more versioning from a bill of materials perspective, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you have the flexibility to control that through VRS LCM directly.
Understood.
Which I think is a great testament to what VCF is doing as a whole. Between that and Philip, as you mentioned, the async tool, the ability to have some of that flexibility, because I know Philip, all of us have, but Philip and I specifically worked with one customer where there's been many that historically would deploy vRealize outside of SDDC Manager anyways, because they wanted that flexibility. So it's nice that they can still have that sort of single source to update some of the components, but have the flexibility in the versions. And I think async tool is part of that. Although async tool, Philip, correct me if I'm wrong, that's mainly to help patch to versions where there's been exposed vulnerabilities or known security vulnerabilities. And we want to patch those before there's a bill of materials for that next VCF release, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Any other points on the VCF release and the VxRail latest software release? If not, let's jump to the next section, which is going to be.
Of course, I was just going to mention one more thing.
We've
mentioned it since 350, But again, if you go to 350 or higher
yeah,
and you're doing dial home, we do have to move. Customers will need to be aware that they will have to move to secure connect gateway for the dial home. That was it.
Obviously, that includes VCF.
Correct. Yeah. Anything
now it does. Going to 441, it does. Yes.
Now it includes VCF. So if you're going to 441, you got to take that into account.
Yep.
All right. Hardware releases. I know we have some new VxRail hardware, and there's possibly some new GPUs. Who wants to take that? Hit them up.
Sure. Yeah, I'll chime in here on this one. So the hardware, we're recording this here at the last week of May, I guess 2022, and we've got a kind of a continuation of our 15G product evaluation or evolution, I guess, from a VxRail perspective. So we continued to add and expand capabilities, and one now is the addition of an all NVMe P series VxRail, which is the 2U based node that's based on the R750 PowerEdge server platform. So that'll be it's a 24 drive all NVMe configuration. So just to kind of notice a little bit of a difference delta from the standard what we call VxRail the VxRail P670 F or P670 hybrid model, where that is a 28 drive configuration due to some power cooling thermal. The all NVMe configuration ended up being a 24 drive in the front without having the rear 4 drives for additional drive expansion or storage capacity. So but that's now available. Nice to have that as a all NVMe configuration for the benefits of all of NVMe storage performance capabilities, and potentially always nice to have that for some future capabilities as well too. Just that all NVMe for the P series and the 1U E series has been available since the beginning of this year, I guess, as well too. So we've got now the kind of the completion of that all NVMe platform capability from a 15G VxRail based PowerEdge system.
So before you go into the additional hardware, before you go into any more hardware, I want to ask a general question to all three of you guys, including myself, because I deal with customers as well. What have you guys seen with the new NVMe platforms coming out that you just talked about, and the fact that we already had some NVMe platform? Are you guys seeing more and more customers move towards NVMe?
I'll say absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'm seeing customers view NVMe as a very solid, stable platform, and kind of their general preference from a storage technology as kind of their first choice, unless there's some reason that dictates that they go SAS, SATA, or even hybrid, which I really don't even see much of anymore.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that. I mean, there's definitely a movement towards the all NVMe. And the nice thing about the P670N, because we had the P580N out for a while, but then the thing that's nice about the P670N, it's still a 2U form factor system, but that 580N was a quad socket based system. So this is actually the first time we have a 2U dual socket all NVMe system. So, when we get up to some of those capacity, higher capacity requirements for all NVMe, we can hit it with a dual socket system as opposed to a quad socket. So I think that will also drive the NVMe adoption for some of our customers.
And just as a reminder, right, we do not have a quad socket configuration in 15G at this point, right? Just making sure the viewers are aware, right? Yeah, I see the same thing. I see more and more customers asking or wanting to go down the path of an all NVMe, like you said, Joe, for like future proof, but not. There are some performance enhancements. There are some performance capabilities that you will see, especially with the later releases of vSphere, that take advantage of more of the capabilities of the NVMe solutions. So, we're seeing that across the board, not only in just VxRail. Even if you look at the solutions and the Apex side of things, more and more customers are starting to look down the NVMe path as well. All right, sorry, I just want to bring that up, but Joe, keep going. Any more hardware updates you want to bring to bear?
Yeah, I'll bring up the GPUs continuing to kind of expand or evolve with the GPU, I'll call it curve, where we're staying current with what our friends and partners at NVIDIA are offering. And so we've got
I think we may have lost Joe.
No, Joe's
maybe he lost his audio. We'll let him connect back in, but
he's frozen. He's frozen.
Yeah, right. He was talking about the A2 and A100. You gotta love for the live recordings, right? No edits here.
Hey, we keep going. This is like live TV, man. You just got to keep going.
But yeah, I mean, we have the A2 and the A100s, as Joe mentioned. I think, it's just a testament to continuing to adapt to customer requirements and customer requests for different GPU offerings, whether it's for graphics acceleration, AI, ML type workloads, or anything like that. Continuing to bring those to market. I know that there was a session out at Dell Tech World around some of the AI ops and some of the NVIDIA stuff that we're bringing to market here, which has been good. So, continue down that path. We'll just continue bringing things up.
I think we also expanded this month. We expanded the orderability of the 830 onto additional platforms as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
We have the 830, the A2, the A100.
Yeah.
And we've had the A60.
Put some numbers after the A, and we're all good.
Yeah. A everything. We pretty much got it. We lost Joe. So okay. Last thing that we were going to talk about was Cloud IQ, but I think we talked about Cloud IQ last month. So if there's anything additional that you guys want to add, besides Jeremy, wasn't there an announcement around Cloud IQ specifically at DTW?
Yeah, I think we discussed it a little bit in the last update, but being able to drive multi-cluster updates or multi-cluster management, the active integration that we had in my VxRail, having that ported over into Cloud IQ, it's there as of last month. So any of those customers that had been leveraging the My VxRail cloud-based interface, you can now go over to Cloud IQ and have the same functionality that you have. In addition, you can also see your Power Edge, your Power Switch, your storage arrays. I mean, Cloud IQ, if you just look at what's been integrated into Cloud IQ over the last 12 months or so, it's been a pretty big lift by that team and a testament to those developers working hard. But it really is, driving our customers or providing our customers with that capability to see everything from that one singular interface, which is really, really nice, especially for those customers that have, a large portfolio of Dell products inside their data center and remote offices as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, this is a short update. Any additional comments you guys want to add? Anything else we want to touch on before we get out of here and wait till next month for episode number 5? We're shooting for episode 5. As usual, if there's topics or comments, feedback, please put it down below. Don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need anything or want to just chit chat or you just want to, whatever, we're here. So Gentlemen, Jeremy, Philip, virtually Joe, since we lost Joe, but he's always with us in spirit, right?
We'll bring him back for the next one. We'll bring him back
for the next one. All right, gentlemen, you guys have a good day. See you guys next one.
All right,
Take care. Thanks.
Bye.